Loose White dive on it.
This is twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor.
They try to save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, layup. Got it. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White.
Wayne Spooney here, First to the Floor podcast. Can smell it in the air. NBA basketball. It's here. It's arrived. Celtics start Wednesday. I'm joined by Jake Eisenberg. Jake, how's it going?
Doing good. Oh man, pumped. I mean, This is a colors are brighter type day for the Patriots fans out there. Drake May, primetime W. Basketball's back. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, man, it's like Wizard of Oz when it goes from black and white to like Technicolor. And we have a very special guest. Me and Mike Zakarian, our guy Mike is Zakarian. We go way back. We've been to a bachelor party and a wedding together. So like best friends, essentially. Mike hosts the Celtics Daily Show and NBA Bit. Buddy, how's it going? It's good to see you. We haven't done this in a long time.
I know, man. This is good. I feel like it's been years. I think we had a front court the last time that we did this. I mean, dude, I'm excited to see how much First to the Floor has grown. You guys are popping. It's very exciting to see. So congrats to you guys, and excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. Turns out not being named after Reddit really helps for your growth. So
it makes it a little bit more searchable.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's jump into some preseason. We're just going to kind of preview the Celtics preseason. Like I said, we're playing on Wednesday. So you talked about it in your show today, Mike. But like, who the hell is going to start on this team? So like, I think there's a lot of different options, but I think there's really two spots up, and that's the center and sort of that off guard spot next to Derek White. So like, what are you putting your money on?
I think it's wild. People think Simons is going to start. Like, I thought it was like so clear that it was Pritchard. And then I don't know if it was like the shiny new toy in Anthony Simons arriving that everybody was like, oh yeah, he's like, I haven't watched him play in Portland, but I've seen his box score. So he absolutely has to start, right? And not even that I'm like out on Simons. I really like him. I just thought it was pretty clear that Pritchard was going to start in the off guard. And then you could start at the 4. Like, I don't know who's starting at the 4, man. I didn't even know Sam Hauser was on the table until recently. And then people were like, oh yeah, maybe Sammy's at the 4. And I'm like, guarding who? Who is he guarding at the 4? So I have no idea. I feel like they'll just be spinning a wheel every day, and it'll be like, all right, Chris Boucher, you're up. Luka Garza, why don't you do some 4? Let's mess around.
Please, no, please.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, you said guarding, and I think maybe that's something that we're not going to do a lot of in general.
Great point.
Yeah, like Hauser, I love as a potential starter, but yeah, the 3-4, the size, he's an underrated defender. The house trap has been something that people have been falling into for years now, but the trap gets a little compromised once you're starting and you're maybe being asked to guard the opposing team's first or second best wing player.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, and maybe Hauser was like always guarding 4s, but because I agree with you, I think he's a much better defender than he gives credit for. Like you said, the idea of now getting like your starting wing, your starting 4 guy, we're like, hey man, we need you to defend on both sides. We still need you to stretch the floor, and I guess rebound now too. We need you to rebound as well, and that's just a big task. But you're right. Maybe the goal is like Atlanta Hawks from a few years ago, and we just try to win games 155 to 150.
I feel like that's not going to go super well if that's what we're trying to do. So like the weird thing for me is like, Boucher, I feel like is kind of more of he's like a 4-5 hybrid, but defensively, he's more of like the roamer dude who comes in for weak side blocks, kind of breaks up passing lanes. He's not a dude that's just like playing drop coverage and banging with big centers. So it's like, oh, maybe he can start at the 4. And then it's like, now we're starting Neemias Queta, I guess. That's like a thing that's happening. So like to me, it seems like he's probably going to get first crack at the 5. And then like, Duncan D's in the chat says, why not, my not? Like, I mean, I just don't think like this dude played like not at all last year for Minnesota, but like he'll probably get a crack at it. I suspect unless like Sam really locks it down and shows like he can kind of handle some of like the rebounding for me is probably the biggest question mark for him playing the 4 because Tatum was our best rebounder by far. He'll probably get a shot at it at some point. Hell, Shireman might get a shot at it. Who knows?
I think that's right. I do. I really think, I mean, unless they find something right away that they're like, wow, this works. Like, let's just keep doing this. I do think we're going to see, like, we should look what the record is for most starting 5s throughout a full 82 game season. Cause it feels like we're going to shatter that.
Yeah. The Boucher thing's interesting. Cause like, you're right. He be the homeless version of 2022 Robert Williams, where he is that roamer, and Neemias Queta is, the poor man's version of Al Horford playing drop coverage. Now, this is why this right before the game start is we can buy into the reports and the quotes that Neemias Queta has been working on his body to the point where I couldn't control my body. Now I've been like working on my core. I can control my limbs. I now know where to be defensively. If he can be like a normal, like league average drop big, then all of a sudden, I think you can open up some better defensive lineups. I'm dubious. From what I saw defensively last season, that he's going to be able to take a step from confused on like 46% of drop coverage possessions to being able to do it possession after possession. But that'd be the answer.
Yeah, I think like I think if we're able to suspend, I'm not trying to go into this season negative, but if we're able to suspend expectations for this season and be like, the goal is like, what do we have in Nemi after 82 games? Like, is he somebody that is a true future big, like rotational big for the Celtics next year when we're talking about competing again? Like, that's what I would love to learn. Like, and really that's for like all of these random wings we have too with like Walsh and Baylor and Hugo. Like, what of these pieces that we have will be useful in the future? And it's probably a very bad attitude to go in to the preseason with, where I'm like, just get ready for October 2026.
No, I mean, I think that's like where this is all going to start is in the preseason. And this kind of leads into like the next question I have is like, which one of those wings do we think is going to get the first shot of like, okay, you're the 7th man tonight. Let's see how it goes. Of Walshy, Baylor, Shulga, Minot, Ugo, sorry. But like this season is about figuring out which of those guys can actually play and can be part of your long-term plans. Cause you just need to find, when you have a salary structure like we do, you got to find cheap contributors, and these dudes are going to have a chance. So like, who do you think Joe gives the first crack to?
Who gets the first one? I feel like it's probably like Baylor, and I feel like it's probably Baylor and then maybe Jordan. I think Hugo's the one I'm most excited about, but maybe that's because I've seen the least of. But I think like based on what we're seeing in Summer League, it feels like Baylor is going to get a little bit of an opportunity to at least show some stuff. So I don't know where are you guys landed on that? How do you guys feel about it?
I feel like you kind of need to give Baylor the first crack because he's like closer to 30 than he is to 20 at this point. So we need to find out if he can play in the NBA sooner rather than later. Like Minot's been in the league for longer, but he's still 22.
Yeah.
Jordan Walsh is still 21. So there's maybe a little bit more of a runway. And it feels like Baylor's going to get that first try. Minot's the interesting one to me because he doesn't have like draft capital necessarily. He's a free agent. Ugo, you've got the longest runway as far as like the contract goes. But I know Joe feels like he's going to be a guy, especially this season, where there aren't, veteran, there's not a hierarchy. Like Baylor Shireman can't get mad that he's losing minutes to anybody, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's just going to be a pure meritocracy. Like if Josh Minot comes in and shows that, like, yeah, Baylor Shireman still hasn't showed that he can knock down shots consistently. Is Minot shooting just as well? and then maybe he gets the first try. I think I'd bet on Baylor though. Like
Yeah.
Simons and Baylor coming in off the bench.
Yeah. Like it does feel like Simons, even whether he
Yeah.
starts or comes off the bench, like his 28 to 32 minutes are pretty much locked in. Like we at least know he has played NBA basketball, so that's exciting. But yeah, I feel like maybe it was everything is potable. Maybe it was I was listening to something recently and they were just kind of like watching Joe handle this is going to be fascinating too, just because we know he has like a quick fuse for, you know, if it's like especially defensive mistakes. Are we just going to see like 11-man rotation? Like is like everybody going to play 14 minutes outside of like the core 3 or 4? Like I feel like everything is on the table, and I know Josh Minot keeps getting brought up into the chat. I mean, like truly the variance on him, who the hell, who knows? You go to their basketball reference and he's like, well, what can we take from the 2.4 minutes per game so far?
Look, it's the same thing you said about Ugo. It's like maybe everyone's excited about him because we haven't seen him at all.
right.
Yeah. So Minot played over 15 minutes like 4 times last year. So, I mean, there's just like 0 sample size. I think that's like the thing that scares me about Joe is because you're absolutely right. Like his hook is so quick. And I think he kind of undermined Walshy's, what is the word I'm looking for here? Yeah. Last year he thank you, Jake. Because he just like really punished him for the mistakes, and it's a little different because we're like championship level last season, and you can't really suffer those mistakes. But like if he does that this year, he's just gonna end up filtering through these guys so quickly. He's just gonna end up right back at the start again. So like, I really hope he identifies like Baylor, Walsh. You know, you're gonna get 20 minutes a night, you're going to get 15, and we're going to do that for a month, and then we're going to see where we're at, because I just don't think otherwise, like if these guys are just getting jerked around, it's 6 minutes one night, 11 the next night, like nobody's going to develop in that environment. And like I think Joe will change, but I am a little worried about that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like it could go seriously, you tell me any direction, I think I would buy it. Like I could see Missoula just being so nuts about this, where he's like, okay, no, I'm all about getting these guys who have not done anything, and I'm going to show them how to do something. And then, you know, like band of brothers with the misfit toys of this roster, like maybe that's what we see. But you're right, like I was so fascinated to watch Jordan Walsh at Summer League this year for that reason, because I felt like he had gotten beaten down mentally just by not getting the opportunities, and then anytime he does, it's just like immediately yanked. And it was good to see like some of the work that he was doing in Summer League. So I'm curious to see if that comes over into the regular season. But man, the other thing that's making me a little, I don't know if nervous is the right word. There's just so much discussion right now about how strong the bonds are and how everybody's putting in the work and how these training camps are like the most aggressive that they've ever been, that there's almost too much discussion around it now that it's like, I'm like, all right, what's really going on if we're still talking about this? Like, you got there, are we really that close that we have to do all of these different pieces about how close we are? I don't know. I've got some red flags up right now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you don't need to talk about how much you love the people you love. Everybody knows. Well, this is the time, though. This is the time. We can essentially stop believing in all of that probably like in the second quarter of the first preseason game, and Jordan Walsh gets yanked. I mean, we had Ben Ballas in the chat. Jordan Walsh apparently, when he's open, doesn't miss anymore.
Okay.
So the confidence of these guys, and it is funny as well hearing like this is the toughest training camp of my life, and Jordan Walsh has had like 2.5 training camps, and Baylor his second training camp.
Well, what was the quote like yesterday? I think it was Jaylen Brown on one of his streams, I think, where he was like, "This isn't even basketball, this is track." And I was like, "Well, I would prefer basketball, guys."
That'd be great if you guys were dribbling balls. It's pretty important.
It's like Coach Carter when they don't actually practice at first, and they get to the first game.
You got to earn the ball.
It's like, what are we going to run on offense? We know you're probably wondering what we're going to do. And it's like, what did you do in practice? Run. That's what I want you to do. It's just guys just sprinting up and running, down, firing 42 threes off the back of the backboard.
That would be very Joe to be like, yeah, I've been prepping this year by watching Coach Carter over and over too. That would be so Missoula. Speaking of Jaylen, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Coach Carter, except he like used AI to make Jeremy Renner be the coach just because he was like he needed a little bit of the town in it.
It's like Affleck's in the stands for some reason. All right. Speaking of Jaylen Brown, like how one thing I'm like really interested for this season, and like we'll get the first taste preseason wise, is like how Jaylen centric are we gonna be? Like, are we just gonna be like, you're Tatum now, go run 25 pick and rolls? Or are we gonna like give the ball to Derek White and then let Jaylen kind of do the same things he's doing? So like, how Jaylen centric do you think we will be? And how much does that worry you if the answer is very a lot?
Yeah, I think it'll depend on what kind of start they get off to. Because I do think if they're able to string together some W's, and I don't think their schedule's too tough out the gate. If they are able to string together some W's, I could see it being a more team, like the ball zipping around a little bit and not being like just JB, like 2-man games or ISOs or whatever the entire time. I do think if they get off to a little bit of a slower start, we might see Jaylen Brown. We might see like 30 field goal attempts a game. We could see something like that where it's like not on my watch, like we're not going to lose on my watch, which I don't know that if you're a fantasy sports fan, that could be very exciting. If you are a wins and losses fan, I don't know if that
maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, it is. I know. Bill Simmons has been like trying to push like this Jaylen Brown could be a dark horse for scoring champ like agenda, and it's never really been the way the Celtics have played. There's been like the Tatum stands tearing their hair out over the past couple of seasons. That Tatum's averaging like 26 or 27 points, despite like everyone knowing that when we get to the playoffs, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more and take more shots. But like they have been more egalitarian that like you would expect, or more than some of the other top 5 guys in the league. So I don't necessarily expect it to be Jaylen comes in with like a 35% usage, because Simons is a guy that come in and take some of there's 20 shots from Tatum. A lot of them will go to Simons. Pritchard can uptick it. That's the guy I want to see. Like, can he improve his playmaking chops?
Yeah.
Derek White. I think the message is going to be a little more egalitarian than a Jaylen ball, but you're right. If like in the second quarter of opening night against the Sixers, the Celtics are down 14. Good news is the Sixers, I'm not sure they have the ability to draw out a Miami Heat Game 7 conference finals from Jaylen. But yeah, he is capable of going tunnel mode on us if things start to get a bit rickety.
Yeah, sometimes it works when Jaylen goes tunnel mode too, which like I don't know if is totally a good thing, because then it kind of empowers him to do it more. But yeah, I suspect Jaylen will actually be really working on making a point to be a playmaker and making a point to kind of evolve his games. Perfect opportunity for him to show those chops. And that's like what he's missing offensively. If he takes like a legitimate step up as a playmaker, like he's already got the efficient scoring. He can already get downhill. The 3-point shot is, good enough. So I suspect he will really be putting a focus on. So I'm not worried about it being Jaylen centric, but he's going to run a shitload of pick and roll. Like he's going to have the ball a lot. He's going to ISO and he's going to post up. And I'm actually really excited to see how much we post him up. So, but yeah, I mean, like go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was going to say, to your point, Jake, like, he's going to run a lot of pick and rolls, but he's going to get off the ball, and then it's going to be Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, second sign. And Simons, I'm with you. Like, he's a dynamic ball handler. Like, he's a really damn good offensive player, and, like, Joe is going to use him.
Yeah, I think so, too. I was just going to say about JB, I'm just excited to see him healthy again. Like, there's been a lot of talk just about him feeling athletic again, and I think people forget how long that was hampering him. That's towards the end of the season into the postseason. And so I think it'll be a nice breath of fresh air to just see him zipping up and down the floor. I do think, like, offensively, I do still think this team is going to be a lot of fun. I just think it's on the defensive end there's just going to be a ton of question marks.
Yeah, and if I was going to pick one end, if we're going to be like a 500 team, at least we're going to be a top 8 to 12 offense probably. I'd much rather watch that than be a bottom 5 offense and a good defense, because I still think they're going to play hard. I don't think we're going to watch the defense and be like, they're not even trying. They're just going to be, okay, Sam Hauser can't guard Jalen Brunson over and over again, or Anthony Simons, claiming that he's never tried to play defense before and now he's trying. Maybe that didn't actually work.
Simons, you don't have to say that, man.
Yeah,
You don't.
There's no need.
Yeah, you don't have to because listen,
Saying the quiet part loud.
yeah. And listen, we all evolve and mature at our own rates and paces. I mean, I guess this is like a normal person saying, I really didn't like my last job, so I kind of stopped trying halfway. But the red flag there is that the rest of their team last year was very good defensively. So
Yeah.
for him to be like, yeah, it's all about the team, you got to buy in defensively as a team. And I'm like, well, dude, everybody else around you bought in. So we'll see. I mean, if it translates, shout out to Joe Mazzulla for making Simons a defender.
Yeah, a bit of a red flag, if I'm being totally honest there, Anthony, even just from a judgment perspective about sharing information like that. So I do want to talk a little bit more about Simons, but before that, we are going to run a little ad from our friends over at Prize Picks.
That's right. Prize Picks time. And I think we went 3 for 4 on our Prize Picks last week. We got the Drake completions. We got the Drake May yards. We got the but then Josh Allen, the Patriots defense was just too good. So we're going to keep riding these Patriots. We're never going to put Travion Henderson in anything ever again. Obviously, apparently fumbles don't matter to Mike Vrabel, but I mean, shout out to Patriots. We just got the best win that we've gotten in half a decade, I would say. Maybe I know we made the playoffs in that Mac Jones year, but this felt special. So we're just going to keep riding Drake May all season long. I saw he was right below Lamar Jackson in MVP as well. Not on Prize Picks, but Prize Picks. We'll have our picks in later this week, but $5. You get place your $50. Oh yeah, $5. I just completely bungled this one, didn't I? Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play a $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Sorry, Prize Picks. That doesn't usually happen. That's my bad when you try and do it without reading their copy. I was feeling too good. Tried to go off the cuff.
Isn't it way more fun to read one of those after you got one right? Like you get the Drake May one right. You're like, yeah, let's go Prize Picks. Let's read it out, baby.
It is. Yeah, Prize
next
Picks
time.
is great. Yeah, Prize Picks. I am shocked that Drake May's MVP odds are that, but Baker's going to run away with it. That's my guy, Baker Mayfield, my dude.
I placed a Baker Mayfield MVP bet yesterday.
Wow.
I think I'm going to do the same this week sometime because he's killing it. All right, Simons. Can Anthony Simons average 24 points a game this year? Will he?
24?
24.
Ooh.
Okay, can I lay out the situation and where that how that happens?
Yeah,
they start the season at 8-20.
Oh god, yes.
They start the season 8-20, and then Jaylen Brown plays 58 games this year, and Derek White plays like 62 games this year, and Anthony Simons plays 38 minutes a game. Like that.
Yep.
That is the situation in which I think so, because that's 24 is a lot. 24 is a lot.
Yeah, 24. Yeah, because he's never been at 60% true shooting. I do think that the efficiency could come up.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he played with Dame and CJ, but I wonder if this will be the better offense than he's played with, and just being a better player than when Dame was here. Like he's like smack bang in the middle of his prime, going into his age 26 season with the Celtics this year. Mm-hmm. He averaged 22.6 in 23-24. He was taking 18 shots a game. I think 20 points per game for all Derek, Pritchard, and Simons is going to be all where they kind of end up around. I'm hoping that they can all be really efficient. Like Pritchard and D. White, always efficient, and so is Simons. But I want to see if he can just raise that up a little bit, because the 3-point, he took a ton of tough threes last year, and the catch and shoot numbers are really good for him. So can he get a few more catch and shoot opportunities playing off of Pritchard, D. White, and Jaylen, and prove that he can impact winning without having the ball in his hands quite as much. Also, we got to go for 3 straight 6 men of the year: Brogdon, Pritchard, and now it's Simons.
I like
that. when 21, 22 was when he first like really turned into a player playing with Dame and CJ, shot 40.5% on 8 threes a game. So like when he has those open catch and shoot opportunities, he's a sniper. Like he is a really damn good shooter and he's dynamic off the dribble. Yeah, I'm concerned like the opportunity is probably just not going to be there with Jaylen, Derek White, and Pritchard, and obviously got to get Luka Garza his post ups. So I think 24 is a little high. I think easily he's going to clear 20. And I think he's probably going to have one of the most efficient, if not the most efficient, season of his career. Like Dame and CJ, okay, but I feel like Joe's system, like letting you just let it fly, spread teams out, get downhill, like that really suits who he is as an offensive player. So like I think like 22 is not out of the realm of possibility. And then when you're at 22, it's like, how far is 24 really away from that? So that's kind of the case, I think, is like he's just gonna be really good.
I love that you started this by saying he wasn't going to get to 24, and then you're like, but 22. And then honestly, man, if you just add 2 to 22,
one more
that's
bucket.
24.
Yeah, one more bucket. It's the East too. He gets to play in the East.
I think you guys make a great point, though. The efficiency of what, like the looks he's going to be getting are going to be so much cleaner than what he was getting in Portland, and like all of those end of shot clock stuff that he had to do in Portland was really tough. And I saw John's comment too, like as a guy up in Portland, Simon's had a heavy load offensively, so he was doing the hard end on the defensive end. That, that is true too. Like when you're doing so much work on the offensive side, you kind of get the wink wink nod that you can like slack off a little bit on the defensive side. Maybe he should have said that instead of what his other comments were. But yeah, I'm here for it. I like that 6 man of the year take too. Let's just keep that run going.
It's a good sell to free agents. It's like you come to Boston, you win your 6 man of the year award, you can go off, get paid. Life's good. Granted, Brogdon won a 6 man of the year and is
stop playing basketball.
Like, exhibit 10, I think.
Yeah.
Now it's like that's tough.
Yeah. Do you guys think Simons is do you think this time next year Simons is on the Celtics?
Probably not, but
yeah,
but maybe. Like I think there's a world where he stays. Obviously just the salary cap situation with the Celtics is so tough right now. It depends on honestly how well he plays defensively, but then it almost answers its own question. Like if he plays well defensively, then he probably gets paid too much to leave. And if he doesn't play well defensively, do you want him to stay anyway? So I don't know. Maybe that answered the question. Is it?
Yeah.
Because offensively, he's a dog. And then if he proves he can defend, then he's going to get paid $20+ million, and we probably can't afford him.
Yeah, well, I wonder if that we just sign him because we'll have his bird rights, and then he's just a $20 million trade chip. But then, like, to your point, Jake, it's like, well, then you need to bring in $20 million if you trade him, and your salary structure is completely fucked. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It really just depends what like Chisholm wants to do for how much he's willing to spend and go deep into the luxury tax. But I'm staking my claim on like Simons is just going to be fucking awesome. And I feel like there's going to be some outside all-star buzz for him. It will be unfounded because I feel like the defense is going to be too bad and his actual impact won't be all-star level. But people will see an efficient 22, like 3 and 5 and be like, what about Simons for that last all-star spot?
All right. So I got 2 follow-up questions about this then.
Okay.
How many Celtics are making the all-star team?
1.
And Jaylen?
Yeah.
And what do you think? Where in the standings are the Celtics when we get to the All-Star break?
Like 8th.
Probably.
Okay.
Jake?
Yeah. Yeah. And if we have to be higher than that to get a second one, just because like the bar to clear like the established All-Stars is just really hard. Like like Trae Young hasn't made the All-Star team for the past couple of years, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to make it. Franz and Bane are guys that weren't on the All-Star team, and their Magic are probably going to have like 8 more wins than the Celtics at that point. So I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I was just curious if Spoonie was about to hit us with like, well, yeah, JB, Pritchard, and White, and the Celtics are obviously, 2 seed, and they're getting all 4 starters.
No.
No, I don't know. I'm like so torn on what the Celtics team is going to look like, where I spent most of the offseason just being like, this is a rebuild year. Let's lose games not on purpose, but like, let's just see what we have, So
Yep.
we know what we need to focus on next offseason so that we can actually contend when Tatum is back and healthy. And then Kata goes out in Eurobasket and is, shooting a 3 a game and like holding his own against actual centers in the NBA. And then Tatum is like, I actually might be ready by Christmas. And all of a sudden I'm like, the Atlanta and Orlando haven't won shit. Why can't Boston be a 3 seed? So I'm having a real tough time. I'm going really back and forth. I think JB and I honestly think Peyton Pritchard, everything you have outlined for Simons, I envision, not that Simons won't do it, but that Pritchard, if he can take a little bit of a step forward in playmaking, all of a sudden vaults himself into that like fringe all-star conversation. If he's like a 18, 8-5 type of guy.
I want to make sure we talk about Simons' defense as well, but like on Pritchard, like he's kind of a meme. Like the work ethic's kind of a joke, but it's just not a joke. And so like he's got this neck like bullet wound thing the other day.
Insane.
And so he might just literally will his way into being that fucking good.
Yeah.
Like he just has no business really being as good as he already is. And I don't know, I'm just kind of I'm literally suspending disbelief with him just because he went like guards that are 6'1", generous, that get drafted in the 20s that are, somewhat compromised athletically. Like they don't succeed at all really in the NBA. Shout out Carson Edwards. But he was fucking insanely good last season. And defensively, the improvement was real. And so if he keeps stacking development on top of this, he does feel like he's just an outlier already. Does he continue to be an outlier? Because I'm with you. I think that of those guys who can take like a real step forward, I'd love it to be Jaylen. But it's Pritchard. He's the guy that it could be.
This is such a dumb thing to say out loud, and I think it's probably like a 10% chance for it to be true, that Pritchard is like the second leading rebounder on this team this season.
It's not going to happen.
I just I'm thinking about who's going to play the most minutes on this team. Like from the bigs, they're all going to be playing 12 minutes a game. I don't trust any of them to corral boards. And I mean, I know this isn't really going to happen, but he was averaging like almost 4, right? It was like almost 4 a game. And he looks like me. He's my height. And if he's able to, he's probably only getting a couple more minutes a game. So we're probably not getting north of 5 boards a game, but I'm more interested in the playmaking. I think if he can really up that a level, I think that unlocks the ceiling for him.
Yeah, dude. If he goes 20, he had 4 rebounds, he adds 1 more, he goes 21, 22, 5 boards and like 5 assists. That feels pretty realistic.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I think the 5 assists, he's just going to be asked to be a play initiator a lot more often than a play finisher. But I also I kind of just believe in Simons as like hey, run a pick and roll and get somebody a good look a little bit more than Pritchard. Like Pritchard, I think, is more dynamic in a go get your own shot way, just because he can shoot from 30 feet, and that tends to be pretty effective way to get your own shot. And he really worked on that in between game. Like when he takes a mid range jumper, I'm like, this shit's going in. Like I feel like he never misses that little shoulder bump pull up mid range. Simons is pretty inefficient, I believe, from that in between range and at the rim, which is why his efficiency is never super high, because he is an excellent 3-point shooter. So if we could merge the two of them, I really think we'd be in business. Just give Pritchard Simons his athleticism and size, and be God, holy shit, he'd be incredible.
MVP candidate.
But I think both of those guys will have probably the best seasons of their careers, because they're just such a perfect fit for the system. And Derek is Derek. I don't really expect his output to, his volume will increase, but he kind of is who he is at this point. It's not like he can become a better shooter than Klay Thompson level he was last year. So those two are going to have tons and tons of opportunity. And Jaylen's not going to play 82 games too, right? No. So they're going to get, there's going to be 15 games a season where it's the Simons and Pritchard show. So yeah, they're going to light it up, man.
So, okay. Simons' defense. He literally bottom 5th percentile for his entire career of defensive estimated plus minus. Not a perfect stat, but most of the worst defenders in the NBA are typically in here. make a call, both an abstract answer, like a neutral defender, slightly negative, and then give me a guess for projected defensive estimated plus minus. I'll say slightly below average defender and 31st percentile defensive estimated plus minus.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I think he was in an excellent defensive ecosystem last year. It's still graded out pretty bad, as I recall from EPM. 5th percentile, correct. You said, Jake. Yeah.
Go on.
I'm concerned that him defending pick and rolls with Luka Garza as the big man with him could be an issue. So I'm gonna say like bad, like not 5th percentile bad, but like 20th percentile.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you said it because I was thinking like in the low 20s and pretty bad. Is there a history of players like this all of a sudden being like, I'm actually pretty good at defense now? Like and I'm sure there are. It makes me nervous when maybe it's too recency bias, but a team that was really clicking down the stretch, the second half of the season, small sample size, all of that stuff. And for him to be like the one guy that was like, nah, you got this.
Kamara got me.
You got this. Like even Scoot was like, come on, man, we gotta play a little defense.
The one I can think of is sorry, I'll just real quick. J.R. Smith. Like when he played with LeBron, he actually decided to defend, but he was like 6'5" and like huge, and like Simons is just not that size.
He's tall-ish,
but he's thin as hell, man. Like he's little.
Get in the. He's got to get on the Jalen Pritchard program, dude, because Pritchard's fucking so strong now. He's like a mini Kyle Lowry in the post. No one will ever be. He saw what Drew and Marcus were doing in the post, and he's like, "That's how I'm going to get minutes." And now his posterior chain is so powerful.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pritchard stuff makes no sense. Like when he gets like contact down low and then finishes at the rim, I'm like, how, man?
Dude, yeah, I've been trying to study it for Rec League. It's not working at all.
No.
No.
I joined a 40 and over league this year. I turned 40 and I was like, let's go. We're back. I'm going to dominate the 40 and over league. Here's a tidbit for people getting ready to turn 40 and have the same thought process. Everyone else has that same exact thought process. Those are just a bunch of aggro 40-year-olds. But I did the same thing where I was like, dude, I could be like Pritchard, man. I'm just gonna run around, and I'm like, I can't. I actually can't do that. So I don't know.
I can't shoot 40% from 3 from the half court line, and all my body hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, when he bumps a big man, they like go backwards. It's insane. It's have not tried to put that into practice. And I have a completely broken jump shot. So, I'm screwed. I can't wait to be 40. I was literally thinking about that the other day, Mike, where I was like, I got to find a rec league. I'll wait till I'm 40 and then I can join the 40 plus, because I was like, oh, then I'll be cooking. But shit, it's upsetting to hear that. But you're in New York City, right? So West Virginia ball's a little different.
Yeah, you might be okay. Okay. I had somebody, this really happened this week, where I'm curious your thoughts on it. A bigger guy got a rebound over me and then put it back up and hit me with a too small. And
you can't do it to someone literally smaller than you.
That's what I said. I was like, that's not trash talk. That's bullying. I'm 5'7", 140. No shit. I'm too small. Like, I know that. I'm the smallest person in my house. I don't need to deal with this here. Come on. I couldn't believe it.
I love it. Mike, I didn't realize we had the same dimensions.
Yeah. So the next time down, he was the very next possession. He came under the screen and I hit a 3 and I said, too dumb. And then I immediately walked it back.
And then I ran home.
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding, man.
Hey, good game.
Just backpedal directly.
Yeah, please don't be my ass. Please don't be my ass.
You just come home. It's like, what happened?
What?
He called me too small, babe.
I was too small.
Yeah, you don't get it.
And he was too dumb.
Both were true.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Before we move, I'm gonna hit game time really quick, and then we can move on. All right, game time. It's football season. It's college football season. The Mountaineers had a huge showing in Utah. They only lost by 14. But hey, it's still beautiful weather here in Morgantown. That means I'll still be going to Mountaineers games, and now I have zero expectations since they've destroyed them in me. So I'll be having some beers and enjoying myself at the stadium, and I will get in the building with Game Time. Super easy to get tickets. You just hop on the app, search for any game or team you're looking for, and then you're shown all the available tickets and all the best deals right on your phone. Their curated deals make it even easier to find the best seats at the best prices, and the last minute deals get you tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. But maybe my favorite feature is the seat view. It shows you exactly what it looks like from any seat before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Game Time rocks. I've gone to multiple events and games just in the last few months via Game Time. It's super easy, best prices, and they show you the price with the fees included, so you don't get to check out and it's like, why is this $50 more? So Game Time's the best. Use
Love
it.
that. Yeah. As opposed to when you're booking a flight, you're like, actually, I can afford to go to this place. And then you try and bring like one thing with you. And it's like, no, actually.
You're like, oh, you have shoes? That'll be $100.
not allowed. All right. What we got next, Vince?
Okay, so somebody asked in the chat, I don't know if we want to hit that. What are our expectations from Chris Boucher? I mean, we hit it a little bit, but if we want to jump on that real quick, Mike, you want to start us off?
I think I'm pretty excited about him from a fantasy perspective. Boucher is like an incredible fantasy point per minute guy because he's a block guy that loves to get a shot up quick. If you are a Raptors fan, I'm sure you know that. I think he's fun. I would like it more if he was 27. I think I'd be a little bit more excited about it. I think he's kind of a finished product at this point, but I do think it does, his ability to knock the three ball down, I do think just gives us a little bit more optionality, because I do think like Luka was the only one that could do that from a big person perspective. And you don't want him playing a ton of defense out. I mean, he's not going to play a ton of defense out there. So I like the idea of having Boucher and running him out there a little bit. But again, he's a pretty finished product at this point, right? Like we're not expecting anything too much. What do you think his minutes load is going to look like?
Yeah,
I was just going to bring that up.
Well, that's what's interesting about the per minute thing is like he's been awesome per minute, and I'm interested to see, because I think that he should play a lot if the goal is to win games, which for Joe Mazzulla it is. I think is a good candidate to start at the 4 as well. Next, as I mentioned before, play some 5 gives you that stretch element. Because dude, when in the only 2 seasons he kind of shot the ball well has been his high volume seasons, which is kind of an interesting statistical quirk for him. He's obviously going to be encouraged to get them up while he's out there this season. I think that high teens, low 20s at least for him. Like I think there's a world where he's gonna rank in the top 2 of most fun players on the team, I think, for sure. And then impact wise, I think he's gonna be there as well. And then my final prediction is that we're going to trade him to Atlanta Hawks for a first round pick at the deadline, because Kristaps Porzingis is going to get injured. Chris Boucher is going to be fucking awesome, and he only makes $3.3 million, and we're going to get like the 21st overall pick in the draft.
It can't be that unprotected one they got from the Pelicans. Can we get that one for Boucher?
Maybe. I know Zion looked pretty good down here in Melbourne. Maybe the Pelicans will be a little bit better than we thought. But.
Yeah. It's not, the Pelicans are a forever on paper team where they're like, man, I like a lot of these guys, and then they win 19 games.
Also playing against South Melbourne, Phoenix, a little different.
Legendary South Melbourne. So Boucher, the most he's played in a season, 24 minutes a game. I think he's gonna flirt with that for sure. He might even crack it, 25, 26 minutes. He 36% last year, and then 33 the 2 years before that. Like 33 is not great, but it is just good enough that you kind of need to guard a dude if he's going to shoot 33% on decent volume. So I'm kind of bullish on his shooting. And yeah, like you guys said, it's so desperately needed because this team has sort of feasted off having stretch bigs the last few years. And he's really the only one I trust. I am not a Luka Garza guy. Like, I know there's people out there who are like, let's see what he can do offensively. That does not matter. he is going to be maybe the worst defensive big man in the NBA. Like, I was watching his tape, dude. He does this thing I call the oh shit shuffle, where he just like tries to shuffle backwards and drop coverage, and his feet move like a Looney Tunes. And it's just like, oh my God, what is happening? But back on Boucher, like, I think like defensively, he's just not a center. But we really kind of need him to play center offensively. So he's sort of a weird fit. But on this team, to me, he's clearly the best big man. And I'm not really sure how close it is. And yeah, like, that's the nice thing about, like, he is a finished product. He's not going to do anything crazy this year. But the fact that, like, if he shows out for us, he's going to have trade value, like you said, Jake. So I love the idea of, like, just kind of build up his value. And for a dude you just signed out of the air for the minimum, like, even get a couple seconds would be kind of a home run. So I think he's going to be really good, maybe the best season of his career. And partially is just going to be a lot more volume than he's used to the last few years.
That's a good point on grabbing some seconds too, because we kind of have like blood dry for a lot of our second round picks. That is a good call. What do we on another big man, or like the only one we haven't talked about? There seems to be a lot of like buzz for X-Man here. That like finally healthy. The one quote that was a little discomforting, where it was just kind of like, the swelling's not as bad as it used to be, is kind of what he said. And I would have liked if the swelling was gone completely, but okay. But it seems like there's a lot of like that there was some off the court stuff, that he feels like he's in a good place now and he's feeling healthier. And are you buying into any of this hope of the X-Man?
Mike, I said the exact same thing. I was like, I like that we're getting excited, but are we listening to what he's actually saying? He's not saying the swelling is gone. He's saying it's the best it's been. I'm like, my knees don't work and I have no swelling. I imagine that's not good. Yeah, multiple injections. Again, I'm going to reiterate, where do I get some of these stem cell injections for myself? I would like lots of those. He could be the post-hype sleeper guy, because coming out of the 2024 finals, game 3, we all remember the 3, but like, just more impressively to me was he legit guarded Kyrie and Luka in space, and that's been his whole thing. If he can come out and rediscover that, it's insane that he's still 26 years old. He had that quote where, was it Josh Minot was like, surprised. I forget exactly what he said, but he's like, "Well, you're 26." I thought, because Al Horford's legitimately looked younger than him. For the entirety that X-Man has been here. It's hard to know if he's healthy though. Then he could for sure take the mantle as the best big man. But that says a lot about the big man rotation as well. But I'm not buying the 3-point shot. Not doing that again. My bet with Jack Simone was the easiest bet I ever won. But maybe he knocks down some shots. Yeah,
ever since Rudy Gobert was hitting threes in a warm-up video, I'm like, I can never believe this stuff again. Because I was guilty of that, being like, oh, did you see him hit those wide open threes? And I think it was Trey Kirby from No Dunks. He was like, they are also professional basketball players, so they should hit open shots like that in a wide open gym. And I was like, great point by you.
It's still crazy to me. I would think you'd be able to be better. Like that there'll be more correlation between like being that good in like warm-ups and how bad like Andre Drummond is and Mitchell Robinson is in the games. Like that to me is crazy, because like the difference between me shooting on my own to in games, granted the contests are pretty much non-existent in Division 3 Tasmanian hoops, but like I'm shooting low 30%, high 20s, no matter who's in front of me.
That's right, baby. Let's go.
You said that with such confidence, like that. You were saying 45%. You're like low 30s, high 20s, like no matter who's in front.
Come at me, bro. Try me. I don't buy X-Man at all. I did the thing where I was like, this guy, man, we're not talking enough about him. He's switchable. He's got passing chops. He can take a dribble or two. Like, he's going to set really good screens, and like the big that switches is just game breaking for defenses. And like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing it. Like, if he comes out and he's like, shoves it in my face, shoots low 30s, high 20s from 3, and is just a complete beast, fine, whatever, dude. But I am not buying in on X-Man, and I'm not buying in on Luka Garza. But give me all the Nemi stock. Give me the Nemi and Boucher stock. So I just like, like he's just like looked so unplayably bad last year, and he seems like a great guy, and it sucks to say, but like he's just got a long way to like come back up from whatever last year was for him. Like he did not look like an NBA level athlete last season, so I'm very, very skeptical.
I think the Nemi thing is that that's like the high upside play, and that's why like we kind of go back to the beginning. I just hope we use this year, be like, even if he messes up 7 defensive assignments in a row, like let's work through these growing pains. If we really do believe he has some upside, let's like figure it out this year instead of being like, no, we got to grind out 42 wins. So, this big needs to play a little bit more. Like I would much rather focus on who's going to be on this team next year.
I guess the good news is like if Joe Mazzulla's, I can't handle these defensive mistakes. He doesn't really have an alternative to turn to. He just looks down his bench and he's like, fuck,
I'm playing.
I guess he's staying out there.
I mean, if it gets really bad, I did really talk myself into Amari this at Summer League.
I did.
He's very tall.
He was like, dude, I model my game after Jokic. I was like, me too, brother. Let's go get him out here. He's like, I could be a hub. I'm like, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm not there with Amari, man. I was not. I was much lower on him in the draft than I think a lot of people. So that said, all right, we're kind of coming near the end. So let's leave it with this. Who has the most to gain in the preseason? Who has the most to lose in the preseason? And is the answer nobody for both?
I feel like it's probably the same answer for both, like to lose and to gain. But I do think it's like the combo of Baylor, Shireman, and Jordan Walsh. I feel like one of them is really going to secure a pretty good role this season. And for Jordan Walsh, this like he kind of has to do it now, right? Like if he doesn't do it now, like this, he's not going to get an opportunity better than this. We're now on year 3, right? Like at some point he needs to take the reins a little bit. So I guess I cheated because I said 2 names. I'll focus on one. I'll say Jordan Walsh. I feel like he's got the most to gain and to lose.
I think I agree. But Jordan and Baylor, like this is such a good opportunity. You're going to be, be able to get 15-ish minutes a night on a good offense. This is the chance to like kind of solidify yourself as a dude that can be in the NBA. I think Walsh has a better chance of doing it than Baylor. I'm not sure how high that chance is. I've just become lower and lower on Baylor as time has gone on, and maybe I'm just reading too much into Summer League and what I've seen so far, which is very, not much, but I don't know. Walsh's confidence, even at Summer League, he was kind of carrying himself as he was like bringing the rook. So he's like, rook under his wing. And I'm like, I'm not sure where you've gotten this confidence from, but it's very important to have that because I feel like he didn't have it at all last season. And he's talking about how when he's open, it's going in. I loved what he saw from like getting into the paint and having some ability to like take some contact and finish. Mm-hmm. We've been high on Walsh since that first tantalizing Summer League, and there's been some bumps in the road. It's like if you're a Celtics fan, if there's a Celtics fan, you feel like there's been all these ups and downs in Jordan Walsh's career. But at the same time, he's played less than 500 NBA minutes. So to like the neutral observer, it's like it would be very hasty to kind of write him off. But Baylor being as old as he is, you got to have higher expectations.
I'm going to be honest. I forgot Baylor was that old until when you said that at the beginning of when we first brought him up, I was like, come on, dude, we're exaggerating, right? And then it was like, oh my God.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I think Baylor has way more to lose than Walsh. He's 4 years older than Jordan Walsh. Like, if Walsh still doesn't look ready, he's 21. Like, he's got some time, a lot more time to show flashes. Like, Shireman, that was always why I hated that draft pick is like, well, he better be good now because then he's going to be 30. So
he's going to get an early spot at the over 40s league if he wants to get his name down.
He's going to cook.
Listen, it's really hard to get guys to show up. So if he's available, I would love to have him.
He's going to hit you with the too small mic. So you be careful. So I think it's Shireman for most to lose for me. Pretty clearly agree with you guys there. I think most to gain is Nemi for me. The starting center spot is there. Like he can grab 30 minutes a night. Like there's nobody else really other than Boucher, and he's obviously not a long-term piece. Like, Nimi could kind of change the trajectory of his career if he likes, and it starts in preseason. Like, you got to show Joe that you've figured out the defensive concepts. You know where to be in drop. You're not too deep or too high up and getting cooked. So, like, I think from that perspective, like, Walshy, Shireman, Minot, none of them can really go and grab a starting spot, whereas Nimi definitely could. And if he looks terrible, Boucher's just going to start. So I think he's got a ton to gain this preseason.
You know, what's so fun about that too is like, if we were able to go into next season not having to, or next offseason, excuse me, not having to figure out the five, how great would that be? Because to me, that's like the big looming question. It's like, if like, yeah, it's great when Tatum comes back. Yes, he leads the team in rebounding, but like, you need a freaking center. And so if this answers one of those questions, so that's not what we have to focus on next free agency or when we get into trading or whatever, that'd be really cool. So I'm rooting for that.
Yeah, man, that's a great point. Like if Cater can take a Luke Cornett style leap, that would be so fucking huge for the future of this team. It's like, okay, we're looking for two things. Can he just speed up his processing and decision making? Like Luke just became so good at processing and making those quick decisions, either in the short roll, even out on the perimeter. Like, despite not being a shooter, they'd put him out there, you'd pass it to him, he would like hand the ball off, set a screen, and then the offense would be off. Can he just replicate that? And then like he has the tool, like physically, like he is a far more, tantalizing prospect than someone like Luke Cornett. Like he legit is 7 foot, crazy wingspan, like can jump. I'm gonna guzzle I now have control of my body now that I'm 27 years old propaganda for at least 2 more days. But if that's true, then we could be onto something. Come on, Brad. This could be that. Yeah, that's the thing. If we can come out of this season with that'd be huge.
If you told me in 2023 that we were looking for a Luke Cornett leap, like that is just get to Luke Cornett level, baby. Incredible.
But like, yeah, even if like he just locks down, like, okay, he's good to play 25-30 minutes a night this season, and then in the future, we just know we got a backup center. That is so valuable. Especially it's not like we're gonna have to pay him $20 million a year, right? Oh, Derek with the approval on Mike Z over here.
Derek.
Yeah,
huge.
I like this guest too. He's good.
Yeah, we're having a good time. So all right. Well, unless you guys have anything else, I think we can wrap it up there. We've taken enough of your time. I know you'll be up and recording early, Mike. So where can the people find you?
Yeah, we do. Well, now we're since it's back to season time. We do a daily show. It's called the NBA Bit, which is not Celtics focused. We just kind of talk about everything that's going on in the league. So that's over on the NBA Bit channel or wherever your podcast. That's every day at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And then, I started working on this like Celtics Daily project a few months back, which is, I would say, this isn't a good job selling it. It's just like a quick 20-minute check-in on what's going on, just called the Celtics Daily. So it's kind of reactionary to whatever psycho quote Missoula said or something like that. And but yeah, so that's over at the Celtics Daily, and that's. Yeah, those are like quick hitters. I got to find a better pitch for this because this was not smooth. This was
like the marathon.
Yeah. Oh, and the marathon. Yeah, the marathon. Good. Yeah, the first day of the season on the 21st. We got a bunch of different guests coming on. We're going from noon Eastern to tip of the very first game. We've got like Andrew Schlecht from the Athletics popping on. We've got Noah from CLNS.
Yep.
Who else do we have coming on that's confirmed? Trill Bro, dude. You guys familiar with Trill Bro?
Oh yeah, he's been on our show. Yeah,
he's wonderful. So a bunch of people coming on that day. So come check that out.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dude. And will you be doing playback again? I know. I'm not. Is that you? No, or NBA Bit does do a channel.
Yeah, NBA Bit's got a channel. I'll just try to pop on occasionally, but I am on camera too much that in order to maintain a normal lifestyle, I try not to do it every single night. But
can be long.
Are you guys doing it again this year? Are you guys going to be?
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing it. Actually, this is actually probably a good time. We'll be doing it as well, but I'm starting a couple new jobs. One as a tour guide and teaching assistant. So like, I reckon I probably did 75 games last year.
Dude,
and
so many.
Workhorse.
Yeah, so I'll be lucky to qualify for All NBA, I think, from a playback point of view, I think, this coming year. But yeah, we'll do as many as we can, obviously. And actually, I won't probably be able to do playback this week. First playback, Cavs game next Sunday, I think will be the first one. Got a wedding kind of this week, so I'm kind of jumping around. But yeah, that's what's going on. Sorry to hijack your own plug there.
No,
you did ask me.
It felt like I was plugging for 5 minutes. I was looking for a way to get out of it. So thank you for helping.
Pass the rock. All right, Mike, this was awesome. It was good to talk to you, buddy. It's been too long. We'll have to do this again sometime soon. Jake, pleasure as always, brother. We are out. Peace.